Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
This is going to be a trickle in situation. 4 o'clock Central on a Friday is a tough one, I know, but we're going to just kind of let people trickle in so everybody get comfortable. If you are participating in the cocktail slash mocktail portion of the evening, please make sure you have your supplies. I have mine ready behind me. Harry is going to be doing a demonstration in a bit. Just give it just maybe one more minute. Oh, Mona's here. The party can start.
Absolutely.
All right, all right. Well, let's get started. Kristen, you'll just keep letting people in as they trickle in. For those of you that have not met Kristen, I mean, I'm sure you have if you're here already, but she often helps me out co-hosting. So if you have questions, she's probably going to be the one that reads them. But also during this is a conversation and a hangout and a celebration. So don't feel like you can't just talk. Oh, I just heard my email. I'm going to turn that off. So that's not annoying for you. Please hold. Okay. All righty. So first of all, I just want to welcome everyone. This is the final meetup for the Moodring Make-Along mashup with a handicraft happy hour, which is a regular meetup that we do with members of Stitchwell Social Club. And it just happens that they fell on the same date. And so we decided to mix them up. So today is just going to be about celebration, about joy. I'm going to start with the usual grounding exercise. Then we're going to be getting a cocktail making slash mocktail making demo from fellow member Carrie, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And so if you have your supplies or don't have your supplies, go grab them. If not, get whatever you'd like to drink during this hour, even if it's just water. And then after that, we're going to, share our projects, whether they're works in progress, whether they're finished Wrapghans or finished anything, whatever they are. And then this is going to drive me nuts. And then I want to hear after that, we're going to talk a little bit about some positive stuff. Just going on in our lives. So that's sort of the general. And then, of course, I will do the grand prize giveaway. I have the random number generator all geared up. And if the person is not here, I will post it in the group. The ADHD is strong. I would have just stared at that for the entirety of this whole thing would have been about my earring facing the wrong way. Anywho, anyway, so we'll do that giveaway. I'm going to tell you about a little bit, just a little tiny bit about what's next. So grab your projects too. If you've got anything that you want to work on, take the time. This is just about chilling, hanging out, and sort of ending not only a week, but this is 3 months of being on this journey together, whatever that means for whoever's watching this live or later. Maybe you were here at all the meetups, posting all the time, super, publicly invested. Maybe you kind of jumped in and out, a post every once in a while, maybe watch the recordings later. And maybe this is the only one you're ever watching, and you're just popping in. And or maybe you've been just kind of watching and never saying anything. Any of those things are great with me as long as you got something meaningful out of the experience. So 30 days or 90 days has gone by surprisingly fast, at least for me. Although this whole year, and I don't know if it's because of the like rapid fire hot messness of society or if it's because there was this focus, not only community based, but also focus on what was going on, just with us individually. And I went back and forth about that before I started planning this event because I thought that that would make it seem like molasses. There just being this thing that had to be done every day or every few days. And for me, it wasn't really that wasn't the experience. It actually ended up being different than I thought it was going to be, in a good way. And so I hope that you had a similar situation or whatever it is that you needed, you got out of it. So we're going to start today by our usual um, grounding exercise. Well, not the usual one. I'm not going to do box breathing today. We're going to do 3-5 breathing. It'll just be for no reason, really, frankly. So what that is you're going to be breathing in through your nose on a count of 3, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth for a count of 5. So you're breathing out more than you're breathing in. And when you breathe out, if you can sort of we'll do this 3 times. If each time that last breath, if you can just sort of push everything out and imagine, envision, whatever's outside, that's distracting you, whether it's heavy or just busyness, just sort of breathe that out, let it go. This is your hour, your time, and you deserve it. All right, so everybody, if you can find a comfortable position, whatever that means for you, close your eyes, open your eyes, you do you. And we are going to breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, through your nose, breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more of these. Breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just kind of shake it out. Be here with us. All right, let's do this. All right. So, first of all, does anybody have, before we move on, does anybody have anything that they like, any questions getting started? Is there anything that anybody needed? Okay, looks like we're good. All right, so next up, we're going to be doing our cocktail mocktail mix. This was super special because it was created by our fellow member, Carrie, who also is the co-owner of this really great tiki bar in Chicago that I am going to get to, called Halakaliki. Did I get that right?
Halakihiki.
Halakahiki.
There you go.
Some consonants and some vowels are in there. You mix them up like you will
Yep.
your cocktail. And Carrie actually came all the way out from Chicago to come to a Yarnier event that I had here in Texas. And that was just so lovely. And since then has been a really active and valuable member of this community and was so kind to create a special drink just for us. It's the Moodring daiquiri. And so I don't know how to make any tiki drinks, frankly, but definitely not this one. So I have my supply. So I'm going to get up and watch just like the rest of you are. I'm going to hand over the screen reins. And so let me grab Carrie. Take it away, lady.
Okay. I'm not in the best of setups, and I do apologize, but I kind of
You in the
double,
basement?
triple booked myself. No, I am actually in what we refer to as our mixing room. So when I am here making all of our in-house syrups and doing all of our infusion, this is kind of like my little home away from home.
Oh, amazing.
So, so yeah, it's like an extra storage area that's in the very back of the bar that kind of holds all of my stuff. If you could see the shelf above me, I have banana spiced rum that I'm making, allspice rum, mango rum. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there. So yeah, and I do that kind of on a weekly basis. But the cocktail today is just a very simple one. I was trying to do everything that would be a little bit easy for everybody because some of the tiki cocktails, they can get pretty extensive. You can have 5 to 15 different ingredients easily.
Would you
So,
mind telling people before you get started, like what constitutes a tiki cocktail? Like give a little background for those that
hmm, good question. Um,
like
Considering
is
we're
there an
celebrating,
ingredient that's always in it, or does it have to be in a certain glass, or any
you
of
know, it's kind of more the history of tiki because tiki is essentially made up.
that? Okay.
It's not a real culture. It kind of pulls from almost all of the different islands from all around the world. So it's not just like Hawaii or different things like that. So, I mean, a margarita could actually fall under a tiki cocktail in a lot of areas. Daiquiris were, are a big one. And pina coladas are always what people kind of, think of those two. But there's things like zombies and sleeping giants, and there's all these names out there that when you look into the history, that everybody has kind of their own recipe for. So when my husband's grandparents started everything in 64, they kind of went through a lot of recipe books, which when his mom passed away and we inherited everything here, we started looking through, and that's kind of where we've developed some of our own recipes. But things like coconut cream, allspice dram, falernum, those are probably three things that I would say would definitely designate more of a cocktail that falls under tiki.
Mm.
Not that other things don't use some of that stuff, but being that I came from I'm what now? Gosh, fourth generation bartender server in my family. I had never heard any of that until I met my husband 25 years ago. So these were not ingredients that most of the bars that I ever worked in had. So, and like falernum is made from like it's a ginger syrup, but some people put a little bit more vanilla, some people put more anise in. If you make your own allspice dram, it depends on how you want to do that. We have our own way that we like certain cocktails and where we want it to go. So that's where I created the recipes for that. And orgeat would be another thing. Some people will see it. It's essentially an almond syrup, but everybody kind of says that word all different ways because the spelling of it, if you look at it in English, you would think that it's orgeat, but it's not. So, kind of, I said the background of everything, it all depends on where you go and who you talk to. Trader Vic was obviously the original tiki person or Don the Beachcomber. Those kind of, are the two go-tos for most people to start off if they're looking for any kind of a cocktail under their that like umbrella, so to speak. A gentleman that by the name of Beach Bum is got his restaurant and bar in a hotel down in New Orleans. He is actually more of a historian. He will jokingly tell you if you meet him that he is the most overpaid garbage picker upper that there is because he does not get behind his bar. He does not make any of the cocktails, but he does do the history and find out what the ingredients were in some of these when they were first originated. So that's where a
Fascinating.
lot of the recipes come from.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
Thank you. I had no idea. I thought it was just Hawaii and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it
It's
like always had to
all
have rum, the end.
No, no. A lot of our cocktails, well, rum is kind of a go-to, but a lot of the cocktails that we have will have like rum and gin, or there'll be brandy. So there's a lot across the board that can be used for a cocktail.
Excellent. Well, why don't you show us how to make our specialty cocktail?
Okay, so I will start with the alcohol version one, just because it's a little bit easier.
Okay.
Essentially, Plantaray Cut and Dry. Plantaray was once known as Plantation. They recently just changed their name over to Plantaray just to be a little bit more mainstream and politically correct. They are actually owned by a gentleman who is from France, and he started doing rum after being in, gosh, I think he's third or fourth generation in the Brandy family. He took and decided that he wanted to try his hand in rum and started aging his things very similar to the way that he does his brandy. And they're very straightforward about their ingredients. And there's no like hidden things in there. And it's very simple and straightforward to the way that they do stuff. Their cut and dry is one of their newer versions of a rum with the coconut. It's only been out for a couple of years and it's one of my absolute favorites. I'm sounds bad, too many years of bartending and drinking a lot of mixed cocktails. I tend to drink things like this just over ice cubes. I'm not big on a lot of the other juices anymore. So
Yeah.
this is kind of my go-to, but this is a very simple cocktail that we can all do very easily.
If
So
somebody doesn't
basically,
have that exact rum in their bar, can they use any rum?
yeah, you can use whatever kind of rum you would want. I just went with this one because, like I said, I really enjoy the coconut that comes in it, and it's a very natural coconut. It doesn't have that like candied flavor like a lot of the rums that infuse it with a flavoring. They actually have coconuts that they grow to specifically make this rum.
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
people are using their shaker. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, if you don't have a shaker though, and you just have some ice cubes just so that you can chill your cocktail, you can always stir it with a spoon. So it all
Okay.
depends on what you have available. Obviously, I have all the stuff, so I
Okay.
just kind of went with what we have. But again, if you have a big cup, I'm just going to use my shaker here for it. I'm going to put, sorry about the noise. So I'm going to put a little bit of ice cubes in there, maybe like a handful if you have them from your refrigerator ice makers. That will
Okay.
probably be more than enough. Okay. Then I have my measurer. It's a jigger. If you don't have one, a regular measuring cup will work just as long as it has ounces on the side. So this is
Okay.
going to be 2 ounces,
Is that the
and this is
small?
going to be the rum. So whatever rum you wanted to use, 2 ounces. We're going to put it into our cup.
That's the larger one, right?
Yep.
Is two.
Okay. Now we do fresh squeezed lime juice. So I actually have an actual little hand juicer that I will squeeze out my 2 ounces or my ounce rather of lime juice. But if you go to a lot of the stores, Whole Foods, any of the Kroger stores, like here Kroger falls under Mariano's in our area, a lot of them do a lot of the fresh juices. So you could just go and buy your own juice that's already made
Yeah, that's fine.
for you without it. But the little lime juices that are in the like little green
Yeah.
limes,
The
you
old
do
school
that,
one.
that's a concentrate, so you have to cut that with water.
Okay. This one says not for
Okay.
consumption. So, okay.
Okay.
Now how much?
Okay. And then you're going to do 1 ounce of the lime, which depending on if you're using a fresh lime, if it's a larger lime, you usually can get about an ounce. Smaller limes, you might get 3/4 to a half ounce. So you just got to kind of, again, I'm going to use the 1 ounce side of my jigger and I'm just going to squeeze my juice right into it. If you are using the fresh limes, when you do squeeze it, I always like to put what's left over into the actual shaker with the ice and everything, so that this way the oils from the skin of your limes actually gets into the drink and it gives it a little bit of a better flavor.
Ooh, a hot tip.
Mm-hmm. We squeeze a lot of limes around here. Okay, so once you have that, just go ahead, put it in your cocktail. The last thing would be the cane syrup, which again, I believe I put the recipe up for everybody. Basically, all it is melting down sugar. I use sugar in the raw or a demerara, which is just going to be a unrefined, so not white sugar. It tends to have a little bit more of a rounded flavor. I do it also for different reasons with my dietary restrictions. I can't have things like white sugar, so that's kind of my go-to with this. And then for this particular cocktail, you're going to use a half ounce. So the inside of my jiggers actually have little lines for where I need to go for a half ounce. And then once you have that, toss that in. And that's all you would need for this one. I have my shaker here where I'm just going to take it. And sorry for the noise. Okay. And then I have my glasses. And then you're just going to take and if you don't have a strainer to strain your ice, you could leave it on ice. It's up to you. But I like to actually strain mine out and I just pour it so that there's no ice cubes left. And then I do a little garnish of a lime on the side.
Perfect.
Okay. Now for the non-alcoholic version, a little bit different. That one, because of the fact that you're not getting the rum in there, it doesn't give it as much coconut flavor with just a coconut water, but you need a little bit of something to break down the coconut real that I told everybody to get. That's our go-to coconut cream that we use. There are a lot of other ones that are out there. This one's just seems to be the for what we do here, the best flavor for what we need, and it's not as hard to clean out. There's a couple other ones that are out, like Coco Lopez. It's got a very nice flavor, but it's very, very greasy. So it's hard in the middle of service for us to truly get that out of all of our utensils when we need to clean. So this actually is a little bit easier for a lot of people to use. And again, it's all natural. They're very transparent about what they use. And again, they use cane sugar in their things. So something that, again, I'm okay to have. So we kind of go with that for most people. And
Hey, can I
then
ask
for
you a
that,
quick question? If
yeah,
you don't have, if you didn't have a rum that has coconut in it, do you use this too?
you could use this. Yeah. hmm a little bit of this does go a long way. So it's very, very strong coconut flavor and it already has the sugar in there. So it's already sweetened.
Okay, so how much would
So
you use that? Because I
well, for this, I would, with this particular cocktail, I would use a ounce of this so that it gives the coconut flavor and the sweetness that you're looking for the sugar.
with the alcoholic one.
No, with the non-alcoholic one.
No, what about the
The
alcoholic one? Because
alcoholic one, all you needed was the coconut rum. If you wanted to do this in place with a different rum, then I would probably say a half ounce.
half ounce. Okay, because I did
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it is thick.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So if you've got everything, like I said, go ahead, you can shake. And if everybody, I'll give you all a minute, we can get the coconut water, the coconut real, and we'll need lime juice again, and then we can make the non-alcoholic version. Okay. So with this one, again, as Vicky just said, this is kind of thick. So you're going to kind of squeeze it. And if you're using a regular mixing cup, it might be easier to do this on the bottom and then squeeze your lime juice on top just so that you can get it all to come out easier. I'm going to put that in there because as you can see, it's really thick. So we're going to do 1 ounce of that coconut real. And then I'm going to squeeze out an ounce of my fresh squeezed limes again. And the same thing here, I will use one of the halves inside of the shaker for those oils. Okay. I'm going to put that in the shaker again. And then this is just the coconut water that my daughter likes. So this is what I kind of use. And it's going to be 2 ounces of the coconut water. Okay. And again, you're going to want to put that ice in. And this might need to be shaken a little bit longer just because that coconut cream is a little bit thicker. And this one's going to come out and look a little bit more milky and creamy because of it. Okay, and again, I just garnish it with a little extra lime and you're all set.
Delightful. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, it's super refreshing.
I like these when it's really hot out. So for you, it's probably perfect.
Every day of my life.
Yeah.
It's so hot here all the time. So I forgot the syrup. So I just did, and my rum wasn't coconut. It was this situation, what we had.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah.
I did that instead with the cream of coconut, and it's lovely.
Okay. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So they're very simple, very easy little cocktails. Daiquiris, a lot of places will do frozen. We have those on our menu. Also, they're pretty much the same exact ingredients. It's just put in a blender with crushed ice and blend it up to make it thick and slushy.
I had no
But
idea
also,
that daiquiri was considered a tiki drink. No idea.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing. That is so fun. Thank you very much for doing that.
no problem.
I don't suppose that you brought your project
No,
too much.
no, because as soon as I'm done here, I'm going up front to help the Planneray gentleman. That is a good friend of ours. He is sampling rums today and selling bottles for the event that we have going on. And then my girlfriend is coming because it is her 72nd birthday, and we're going to sit down and listen to the DJ that's going to play music tonight out on our patio.
Love it. Well, there's your thing to look forward to, your little point of joy. Thank you so
Yep,
much. I really appreciate it.
no problem.
All right, so next up, I would love if people would maybe share some of what you've made. And again, it does not matter if you have a finished situation at all. Um, I'll go ahead and show mine. You guys have probably seen it already because I've been posting about it, but I just thought I would kind of talk about just how it evolved. So, like always, so this was my starting end. Um, and I was really precise. Like some of you might remember that I talked about like only feeling like a little bit of anxiety one day. And so I put like a little like nubbin of it. I can't see. Oh, there it is. Like a little nubbin. And then as I got more and more into it, I got a little less specific. And then I got busy with some other stuff. And as I went along, I started, instead of doing, so for the crochet one, you only needed to do 1 or 2 rows a day. I started getting, I knew that I wanted it to be long enough to wrap around me. I'm very short. I'm only 5'3", so I didn't necessarily need it to be, and I'm rather like, you know, petite boned. So I knew I didn't need it to be the full 72 and it would still be okay. It'd be great if it were, but I also knew that I was not going to get to that done. So I decided 65 inches was the right one. And I decided that I was going to need to do at least 5 rows of a color a day to get it done. So you'll notice like towards the end, the stripes are a lot wider. But overall, I still think it tells a story. I think it doesn't look all planned out, which I like. It looks spontaneous, and so I'm really happy with it. And the cotton yarn, I mean, I have a bunch left over. I'm thinking I want to make some kind of like, I don't know, maybe a camisole or like a light sweater or something. It's really, really nice. So that's my story. Who would like to share theirs next?
Can I show you?
Who are
Mine's
we?
kind of funny at the moment. So, Madeline.
Madeline? Okay, hold on one second. I have to get to you.
I just want to show mine because it's sort of in a precarious position.
Okay, hold on one second. Precarious position. Hold on one second. I gotta unspotlight. Okay, go ahead. Oh, that's amazing.
So there's my Wrapghan.
Oh, look at that big boy. Girl?
Big girl.
Big
Can't you tell how
girl.
pristine she is?
Yeah, as soon as I got closer, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she fainted.
Okay, I just yanked it out. She doesn't move, but the blanket moves. So,
What's her name? Wait, hold on. What's her name?
actually, her name is Clover.
Stop it. Really?
Yep. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
She's got her tail wagging. She's like, yep, I'm talking about
Clover?
me.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. You'll have to please send me a photo. My Clover would love to see.
Yep,
Your Clover.
absolutely. Oh, I have plenty. And I just took a photo of her with the blanket under her too. So
Love it. Oh, well then post that one. I'm going to be,
okay.
I'll ask this again of everybody, but I want to do like a roundup Instagram reel or something, just of all different kinds of participation stuff. So if you would post pictures, if you're not comfortable posting, just message them to me. I'd love it. Yours is a mammoth.
So mine's worsted weight. I don't remember which side I started on, to be honest. Wait, yeah, I do. Except, well, I actually ended in this and started and ended in the same color. So for me, well, I'm 6 feet tall, so anything that I do is typically got to be upsized a little bit. But I went through and had the one color, and then yes, as we all went through, we kind of adjusted if we wanted to adjust for our feelings. So I did find this variegated yarn, and I did a variegated along the way. On some days where I felt, you know, multiple things, and so that went well, I think, and it ended up going really well with the color palette. And I actually stopped mine at the end of August because for me, I've just had a ton of things going on, and I, you know, had to wrap that up in another project. I was just kind of at a point where I was like, okay, I need to just stop this for now. So I finished at the end of August, and but I'm happy with it. I keep it right there on that chair behind my couch, and if I need a leg blankie, it's a good one. So yeah.
And the other thing is, like, yes, you're tall, so you needed to make yours a little bit bigger, but you were also working in the half double crochet. Like, there's no air there. That's a lot of stitching. You did
Yes.
a lot of work.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh yeah.
How did you
I'm
feel?
happy with it.
Did you feel, just like, setting aside that, like, busy, all the things, did you feel like it was like it had ran its course, this particular piece? Did you feel like
For me at that point, I was kind of like, okay, you know, but again, so as we've talked about in our meetups before, like I'm doing this huge real estate project and this rebuild of my business and all this stuff. And so I've got tons of big stressors going on. And so I did reach a point where I was like, okay, I'm done thinking about the way I feel today. I just need to get through it. I really
But that's
enjoyed.
another great point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed starting it. I really like that it kind of got me back into journaling a little bit more again. Because I would every day just kind of journal about why I felt the way I did that day. And so I like that because I haven't done that for years, just time wise, you know. But yeah, I did get to a point where I was like, all right, I'm done with this for now. I need to just step away and not at the end of every day for a little bit. I just needed to not think about the way that I felt.
Yeah. And that's a good, and that's another good point, is that for some people, maybe all people, I don't know, sometimes survival mode is just taking a minute to keep your eye on whatever the prize is, whatever the ball is, you know, and revisiting later when it's time to decompress or whatever. And knowing when it's which time is appropriate is kind of big too.
Yeah. So,
What
but
is
yeah, I was really, I liked it a lot. It was a good thing.
What was what's one thing that, so you can do either. Either one thing you're looking forward to, or else a positive you took away from the make along, which you've kind of already said. So either way.
Something I'm looking forward to when we're done with this. In a couple hours, I'm going to the homecoming game at the high school, and my son he's a senior, he's in the marching band at halftime, and so I haven't gotten to see the show yet, so I'm excited to see that. Yep.
Oh, fun. Oh, that's great. Love it. Thank you. I can only see some folks. So Mona, do you want to go? I can see Mona.
Okay, I'm still working it, which is good.
Yep.
I've been enjoying the process, as I posted before. I am looking forward to the next Moodring, mood project that you're going to have, because I really I haven't gotten tired of doing that, of tracking my emotions, and I just got a lot out of it. You know, I've never really spent much time thinking about my emotions until doing this project. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to finish it up, and I'm going to start the next one that you do. And I just enjoy it. And it's brought me a lot of enlightenment about myself. And it's funny, I realized that one of the things I realized the most is that I have a lot more joyful days and powerful days and calm days than I realized. I think before I would tend to think more about the more negative days
Mm.
And so this has made me realize that, yeah, I am a pretty happy person most of the time, as far as what I'm looking forward to, well, I do have a grandbaby coming, so that's something to look
That's
forward to.
big.
I'm sorry, what?
No, that's big.
Yeah, it's big, and I'm making things for her and her mom. So that's kind of a joyful thing that I'm looking forward to.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I lost it. This is happening a lot these days. So I really like how you have embraced this. It struck me when you said that you hadn't considered your emotions before. So that can either be like a lot and bad news, or it can be enlightening, as you said. And I'm so glad it was the latter for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've loved it. It's been awesome doing this.
Well, thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Should I just call on people? I don't want to make anybody feel
I
like,
I
oh,
can
Olga,
say-
wait, was that Mary?
Yeah.
Olga.
Okay, Olga, I'm gonna go Mary first, then Olga, and then I
Perfect.
heard somebody else. I don't think any of who, yeah, just go. Hold on, let me remove the spotlight. Pretty.
Yes, I'm finding that back when I started, it was kind of, more the scared, sad, and mad kind of emotions, and I've kind of been getting a little better, having a little bit more good days, and still having a little bit of bad days, but I understand why they're happening, and this has kind of helped me to get those emotions out into something. So it's kind of a positive thing for me. And something I'm looking forward to is working on a baby blanket for a nephew and his wife that are expecting a baby here towards the end of December.
Oh,
That's really nice. That's
you're
really nice.
you're going to have a baby too soon. A new baby.
Yeah, there'll be a new baby in the family soon.
That's neat.
Oh, that's nice. And I remember what I was going to say before is just, because I think there's several of us, that was a common, like a connection where a lot of us realized that we had a lot more peaceful and joyful days than we expected. And it's like that thing where you can get 20 compliments and one negative remark, and you remember the negative remark, you
Yeah.
focus it. And I say you, maybe you don't
Yeah.
all, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
And so this is a really interesting visual of that phenomena. It's like a reverse, like to say, wait, what are you doing? Like, why are you focused on the little nubbin and not the wide stripe or whatever it is,
Yeah. And I think sometimes for me, hearing my mom's frustration and that over the phone kind of stresses me out even. So,
Yeah.
because I can't be right there to handle it for her.
Right. And so you've had this project to sort of work through some of that.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, it's looking great, Mary. Is it going to be a wrap, or is it going to be a pillow? What is it going to be? Do you know? Or nothing?
Uh, I'm gonna make it into the Wrapghan
Perfect.
so that it hopefully wrap it around my body, but also if I need to, I can fold it in half maybe and use it as a Wrapghan when I'm out and about.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
mine's going to stay a Wrapghan too. I'm going to keep it that. Yeah.
Perfect. Olga, you're up.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Are you modeling for us?
Yeah, I have a little helper model over here.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, so I turned my blanket into a wrap, kind of like stitched it together along the sleeve. Yeah, it's really turned out really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mainly worked on it at night, probably like after between like 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. when I was very exhausted and tired after I would put the kids to bed. And it was really nice because the pattern is so simple and relaxing, and I didn't have to think too much. I was just very relaxed, and it was very nice. Like the best thing was that to slow down and really think about like, okay, like what was I feeling today and why? Kind of think about, analyze that. So that was very nice.
And remind people, because you had sort of a different approach to it than some of us did, who are a little more.
Oh yeah. I kind of did not really keep track like how many rows or any like how much I had to do. I kind of just went with it. I did not know where I was. I didn't keep track of things, just kind of like crocheting away.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. I was thinking of doing, before I ended up going the blanket route, although I guess I could change my mind again. I was thinking of doing the same thing, and I was wondering if it would need to have like a ribbing added around it, but it looks great without it. So
Yeah, it was just very simple. Yeah, I didn't do any finishes. Yeah.
looks really good.
Yeah.
What's one thing you're looking forward to?
I don't know, to do another one of these.
All right. I'll talk
Something, yeah.
about that in the end. Perfect. Man, this time is going. Thank you so much, Olga. Who would like to go? I'm just going to take people who want to go, given, and we'll do as many who want to, but instead of me just randomly calling on people.
I
Does
can
anybody
do it, Vicky
Oh, Shenandoah, hi. Okay,
Hi.
I heard your voice, but I didn't see your face.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, I look like crap, but I can kind of speak to that in so it is not done. It is a work in progress.
Oh, it looks so good though.
You can see it's been a roller coaster of emotions. For those I have three, I just dropped some stitches too. I have 3 special needs kids. And my oldest has got borderline personality disorder and autism. And then I have a bipolar, and then I have a nonverbal autistic. So it's a roller coaster all the time, and it's usually not of my doing. And the girls had been pretty bad. And so I actually, really this year, the caregiver burnout has really hit me hard. I've been trying to keep it together. I've had to have both of the girls in both crisis management and long-term residential mental health facilities, and just coordinating everybody's mental health and trying to coordinate with special ed teachers and keeping kids from killing themselves or hurting each other. And my husband's mental health and all that stuff. So I've reached the caregiver burnout phase, and at work and everything just kind of all came to a head. So I have been really struggling with depression really bad. They just actually increased my meds again 2 days ago. So
Yeah.
so there was a lot of blue, and there's the light blue is my sad days and just can't even days. But
Yeah.
the kids affect a lot of the other like emotions that have been coming through.
Were you able to find time with all of that to work on it?
So this was kind of like, how a lot of people said it was easy enough where I could just, the end of the day, watch some TV and just do this without having to think too hard. Because all of my other knitting projects that I had right now were really complicated lace patterns. And I just can't, I've not been able to, they're just too much. My brain just couldn't do it. So it was nice to have something that wasn't just straight, stockinette, straight garter, like it has a pattern to it. And then I can change the colors. And I did go with what was the dominant or the most pronounced thing sometimes, or whatever was the thing I ended on for the day in terms of emotions. Otherwise it would really be crazy looking, and I would hate having to do that many ends.
Yeah.
But I did try to like I actually was trying to give myself more credit on days when I normally probably wouldn't. So I don't know if it was Mona or that was talking to kind of that concept. So like gold is my powerful day. So it's like, okay, I actually accomplished some projects, right? I got some to-dos done. So I was making that a confidence thing, whereas normally I would just look at everything I hadn't finished, but it's like, no, I did finish these things. So,
Right.
and this was my first make along, so I was excited to actually participate in that. But I will say, because I've been the caregiver, and I was the breadwinner, so I was working like 60, 80 hours a week and then taking care of my 3 kids' mental health needs and driving them all over Central Texas for appointments and everything. I've had no social life.
Yeah.
So this was nice for me to be able to start having a social life and be able to connect with people and like having these happy hours and things. It's something to look forward to. And that's been, I think, one of the things that's really kept me from completely hitting rock bottom with my depression. And made a huge difference. And actually, Kristen and I have become really good friends, and we connect pretty much every week and FaceTime, even though we're on opposite sides of the country.
Oh, that's
Mm.
lovely. Oh,
Yeah,
that makes me so happy to hear.
yeah. So it's really meaningful. And I actually kind of stumbled upon Stitchwell because I was looking for a knitting community. I've been listening to Part of My Stash. I'm like, God, I need that so bad for myself. And I was trying to find something local, but I live out in the middle of nowhere. So I found this, and this has really been important to like that part of my self-care, being able to have something that's not taking care of the family or taking care of other people's problem. Like I'm not putting out fires for anybody. I get to just
Yeah.
show up. So
Well, you were
finish it.
you were MIA for a second. I was going to check on you, and then you popped back in. So I'm glad to see that you are back with the community, and that makes me so happy. The whole reason I started a Stitchwell Social Club was so people could make connections, and so I love hearing that, and I hope more people are doing that. And just as a side note for people that aren't members, we will be doing some member driven meetups as well. I'll still be hosting at least one a month, but we're going to start having where members host them, so they'll be on different days and different times.
Okay.
So we're going to keep building that up. I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I really am, my plan, based on the conversations that I've had with people that are participating either through these meetups or on the boards, I really am, because of the other work that I've been doing for ADHD before and the crisis counseling that I do, I really want to focus on the well portion of Stitchwell. I think that's just where this group will be, and it will evolve, but I think that at least in these times, it's having the safe space for community where we take time and focus on what's going on inside, because so many of us mask on the outside, and you don't have to be neurodivergent to mask. I mean, a lot of just moms do,
Yeah.
right? So, or women or people that are, in an environment who have to code switch or whatever it is, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Um, Mylinka, I see you. Would you like to share? Just because I happen to see your face.
Yes, I think hi. My cat has decided she's very into when Shenandoah was talking, my cat is like, what are we doing? And she is now there's cat hair
Animals
everywhere.
love
Your
me.
hair looks
So
great.
Yeah, mine do too. She's just like, what are we doing?
I
So,
love your
and also
hair.
I
It's
haven't,
looking great.
thank you. It's thank you. It's faded out too. I love that my the gal that does it, I told her, I said, I love my white stripe. Please leave my
Yeah.
white hair in
Yeah.
there and alone. And it's faded out some, but she also knows I'm not coming in every couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
it does it so it fades. So thank you. So I'm
Hold
yeah,
on.
mine's
More
still
on that. If you're interested, if you get one of those, you can get rose or you can get hot pink. If you get the shampoos, they work.
oh yeah.
And you just do
Yeah,
it every second or third wash.
it does
And
it.
they
I
help
should
a
do a
lot.
rose gold. That would
Yeah.
probably
In fact, my
rose or
sister-in-law, who's a hairstylist, only uses those
doesn't.
on herself because she has like a kind of like a blonde curly mohawk, but she
Nice.
does just the pink. And it's really
Nice.
great. So it's like a bubblegum pink. It's really good. So
Will
um,
you
I
ask
will.
her what she uses? Yeah, and shoot that to me because
I
I would.
have the copper version here. It's too muddy for what I'm doing, but I can
Oh, okay.
shoot you over the brand. I
Yeah,
don't
that'd be
know if
awesome.
it's salon only, but honestly, you can probably find anything online these days.
Yeah, I go there. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Sally's Beauty Supply and then stuff online. But yeah, so I am mine's still a work in progress. A lot of stuff. Oh, I totally blurred out. Mine's a work in progress. It is probably it's almost probably like a 3.5 foot square for some reason at this point. It's about as long as it is wide. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it until I saw Olga's turned
Yeah.
into like the
I know,
cocoon
right?
wrap, and I was like, yes. Because and this is why I thought of too. I'm in an old house, and even though it's still hot as all get out in Texas, this house gets really cold when it finally does get cold. And I was like, oh, if I turn it into like a cocoon shrug cardigan thing, then I can wear it while I'm working on other stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
be fighting with it. But no, I like it. Like kind of like everyone else said, it's been really good to see like my moods and how that kind of stuff has changed. And like like other people said, like Mona had said too. I have a lot more positive days than I thought I would have. I mean, I even said at the beginning. I mean, my very first color was the red because I was just really pissy that day. I can't even
Is
remember.
red your
What's funny
anger
is
color?
now that was red is my like anger. And I
Okay.
had such little red. I think maybe I have, I don't know, 3 days where that was like my dominant, which is kind of surprising, considering I'm a educator in Texas. But
Mhm.
the yeah, I even made a comment about, oh, maybe I have four, but I made a comment about oh, I'm probably gonna have to buy a lot more red. And I
Yeah, I
haven't.
remember
I
you
had
said
to
that.
buy Right, I had to buy more of my I bought 3 additional skeins of yarn, and it was my um peaceful, my calm, and my the one I'm using as my productive. And instead of powerful, I did productive.
Yeah, that's
And
I mean, that's arguably the same thing.
Mm.
yeah,
That
yeah.
means
And so
that's getting shit done. That's powerful.
Yep.
that's the purple is the getting shit done. And I've had a lot more like purple than I anticipated, and a lot more peaceful, which is the light blue. Um, so yeah, I am, and I've had not as much orange as like stressed, anxious, and I don't have that as much either. I mean, if I had to put at the beginning would have said, yeah, put money on what you know you're gonna have to buy more of. I would have been like, oh, it's gonna be angry, it's gonna be anxious and stressed, it's gonna be
Mhm.
blah. Yeah, I would have lost all my money. So, but I've really enjoyed doing this. I'm still in progress, and some days I'm like, oh, I'm already at the end of those 3 days because I was doing it daily. And
Yeah.
then we don't use I wasn't behind. I just hadn't worked on it a couple of days. And so I was doing the days that I'd recorded, and I'd get to it, I'm like, wait, I'm done. Wait, I'm already done for these. I'm up to today. And I'd get slightly disappointed that I didn't have more to do. So I was kind of I've been banking them a little bit so that I, have them to work on.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoyed that, and also enjoyed keeping the log of my mood. So I'm looking forward to the next make along we do with mood. And then the other thing I'm looking forward to is I was at DFW Fiber Fest this past weekend, which is always
I have
awesome
never
and
been to that.
oh my gosh, Vicky,
I know.
we should talk
I've
because
lived here for
uh,
22 years. Never been.
I'm a the chief like volunteer organizer is married to one of my colleagues, which is
Oh,
how I found out about it.
yeah.
And so, yeah, it was cool, and people are so chill. And I will say that one of the best, this is my third year volunteering. And in this crazy world where it just seems like because of social media, because of all the stuff, and there's so much negativity, it was so awesome to be oh my God, I might cry. Just to
Do it.
be
We're
in a
here for it.
super inclusive space. It
Yeah.
was so gay. It was so gay. It was amazing. It was inclusive by sexuality, by gender, by craft, by you name it, people were there. Race, class,
Ugh, I
gender,
wish I'd
right? All the
gone.
things I study and write about.
Yeah.
And it was the happiest I've probably been in a long time.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Ah, that's sweet.
It was also exhausting. And
Yeah.
I also had to not spend a ton of money because I was like, you cannot buy everything you see.
Yeah.
You can squish everything, but you can't buy
Yeah.
you can't buy everything. but I did buy some. I did buy 4 beautiful skeins of yarn from Destination Yarn. She's out of Cleveland, and it was amazing. And
I
I'm
visited
gonna
her
make. I have a,
briefly when she was in Seguin. I loved her stuff. She had some really cool stuff.
and all her stuff is travel related. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm a sucker
Oh
for
man.
that.
Well, tell
Yeah,
people why. I mean, not
yeah,
travel, but sort of the map thing.
yeah. And so her stuff is amazing. So I'm gonna. There's a cowl that I forget now what I think it's called, like Fall Run. I think that's the name of the cowl, but I can post the link. It's
But tell
beautiful
people
because it's
about
a
you.
variegated.
About you. You're the like chief map person for something.
For me, yeah. I
All the words that
actually
I
teach.
don't know.
I'm teaching a historical geography class right now, but yeah, I teach or I research gender and travel in the 19th century and historical cartography. So, and I'm the president of Texas Map Society. Our
That's
conference
the
is
one I
next.
was talking about. I was like,
Yeah,
almost.
and I just was asked to be the vice president, president-elect of the Society for History of Discoveries, which is an international cartographic group. And I had to think long and hard about it, but then I was just like, you know what? Let's do it. So
Do it.
I might need more
So
stress
cool.
colors
That
going
is
forward.
so
But yeah, I guess the all that long emotional thing to say that the it was so cool to be in the like fiber arts community,
Yeah.
and that this is such a welcoming space, right? And it was really refreshing and filling of the well and all these things to know that all the doom scrolling, all the crap that that's
Yeah.
pummeling us constantly, that's not everywhere, right? And that's not everybody. And that
Right.
was really, it's like this community, right? It's nice to know that although things seem awful, it's kind of like we talk about here, right? It's everything isn't horrible all the time, and that there are great spaces out there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. And also just as a side note, um,
Mm,
I think that I just wanted to say that if people don't finish these ever, this is a great project to just keep in a basket and pull out when you need it. Like when you need to work through your feelings. It
mhm,
can just be that and for as
mhm.
long as you want to work on it, It can be goalless is my point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Love it. Thank
So
you for
thank
sharing.
you for that, Vicky, for
My
making it
pleasure.
so we can
Yep.
do it.
Who else? Who else would like to share?
I can.
Okay.
So, oh, and of course, my dinner alarm went off.
Mhm.
Um, so what I did bind off, uh,
Oh, good
and I'm
job.
going to turn it into a bolster pillow cover.
Oh, that'll be nice. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, it really
Oh, I love it.
turned out very.
Beautiful. It's like baby blanket size too, yeah?
It is. It is a real lap blanket. I actually had it over my feet earlier,
Yeah.
but this is the bolster pillow I have that I love,
Yeah.
but I hate the cover.
Uh-huh.
For those that like catches on every piece of,
Yeah.
dry skin you have, kind of a thing. And I went, I wonder. And sure enough, I'm going to put it around the bolster pillow. I just was using my Cordsmith I-cord maker to make some I-cord to secure it. And I'll go through the eyelets from the yeah, from the feather and fan from the lace pattern. And now I
Oh,
have
cool.
my Cordsmith stuck in the pillow itself. How the heck did I do that?
Well, what's one thing that you're looking
There
forward
we
to?
go. Almost. What was that?
What's one thing you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to working more on the designs that I'm doing for the Henry Ford Museum Greenfield Village Complex in Dearborn, which is one of the biggest living history museums in the country. And I'm gonna do some early 1900s cardigans for them. So
I can't wait to see this.
yeah, I know. I've got the patterns here, but because everything is done on straight needles because they didn't have circulars.
Yeah.
It is going to, you know, I'm going to update it for the modern era of knitters while
Mhm.
still keeping the look.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I love it. Can't
So
wait.
that's, yeah, that and working on finishing the sweater for my son that I started last October.
Well, good.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Alyssa, I sense that you have something to say but don't want to say it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I guess I can share. Yeah, I just have this. I bound off after probably almost 2 months. It was about, yeah, 50 days or so.
So pretty. Yeah, that's
So
Beautiful.
yeah, I just really enjoyed the process, and I just, a lot of things came up around mid-August, a lot of work stuff. So I didn't feel like I could dedicate more time to it. And I like it how it is. So it just felt like the perfect time to be done. So, yeah, but just really enjoyed the process.
What's one thing you're looking forward to?
Just the weekend. It's been kind of a dramatic week at work. So just a quiet weekend. So,
Excellent. All
Yep.
right. Is anybody else? I see Connie, I see Jen. I think everybody else has their cameras off. So would either of you like to share? If not, not necessary. No, Connie says no.
Yeah, I'll share. I'll
Okay.
share what I have.
Okay.
Y'all are gonna laugh because you all made long things. I'm this far.
Looks pretty.
And oh, it
Beautiful.
is really pretty. Just a lot going on in life. I started also to get like tennis elbow and arthritis with the cotton. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I want to continue, and it may be a year-long project and maybe another 6 months, who knows?
Yeah.
I've never journaled before. Maybe I did when I was younger, maybe in college. But I've never journaled before. So I have kept up with the moods of the day, even though I'm 2 months, 3 months behind. So I do have that to reflect on. And somebody mentioned that the puppy, somebody mentioned that, there are more good days than bad. At the beginning of this, just wackadoo craziness was going on in my life, and thus, where I'm at. But there have been more positive days than negative. The purple that I'm working on now is creativity. I have discovered some, I don't know if you call them charities, but I've discovered some opportunities through work to, I guess, help others. I'll show you guys real quick the cutest thing in the world. They're called wishing worms. I don't know if you can see them. And they're crocheted little worms.
Oh yeah, the little spirals.
Adorable.
Isn't it cute? And these go to the kids through a company or place called, it's either Shrugs for Hugs or Hugs for Shrugs. They make shrugs for the parents who are sitting in the hospitals, keeping them warm, and then the worms are for the kids. And I also made about 20 cards for kids. And so I'm getting ready to send those out as well. So I've kind of been, that's where I've been focusing is, kind of for others. And so that's where I'm at with the blanket. It's making me feel good, making me feel creative, and thus I'm on the purple.
Fantastic. I think you shared one, but be sure to share the groups, or share in either the group, either the Make Along group. Well, you might as well do it here in the Make Along group. Share those organizations, because doing for others is a big contributor to our mental health, I think, for our own.
Yeah, it's not that it's making me feel good. It's just making, like you said, it's good for my mental health to put that creativity that I have in my head and I don't know what to do with into something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It
Thank
changes
you.
the perspective, for a minute. Well, amazing. Thank you so much. And people that are watching later, if you feel compelled to, I would love to see yours. Post them in the feed. You can post them in the comments of the recording of this. and share whatever you'd like. I would love that. Like I said, I want to create some kind of, little reel or something with just some stuff from this make along. So what I would love to do is do the grand prize giveaway. What I did is I put up a random number generator and I downloaded the list of all of the people that are in the Moodring make along space. And there are 544 people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Just for honesty, because I don't know why. Let's see, let's go here. Oh, actually, I'm going to share. Okay, well, now I'll do it this way. Okay, so a number between 1 and 544. Let's generate it. Okay, number 81. Everyone sees that, right? 81?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to go over. The amount of tabs that it takes just to live life sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share yet again. Okay, so you can see people's names and then you can see there's a number, not this number over here. Scrolling. All right, number 81 is Lori Seaver. Oh, Lori has participated a lot. I don't think she's here today, but she has been a big participant. And that makes me really happy. So Lori, message me with your mailing address. I mean, I have it within the organization, but just within the club, but just to send it to me. Once again, you get to pick which color palette that you would like from the linen quill mini bundles, and you can see those. I have it posted in the Moodring make along space. So fantastic, and huge thanks to Pearl Soho. That is not an inexpensive bundle. It is so beautiful. Linen quill is one of my favorite yarns right now. I don't do a lot of fingering yarn work, but it's lovely to work with, and the colors are stunning. So congratulations to that. And then the last couple of things, like just business wise, are a few people have alluded to there being another make along. And earlier I shared that I really do want I want Stitchwell Social Club to really focus on the wellness portion. And when I mean wellness, I don't mean like wellness industry. I mean the things that fill our well, the things that do well by others, focusing on our mental wellness, and learning how to stitch well, upping the ante of our stitches, of our skill levels, rather. And so I think the culmination of all of that and the foundation of it being community is the direction that I really would like the overall community to go for. So that will mean two things. I'm going to be doing some things on the Stitchwell Social Club side, which I'll talk about in a second vaguely, but I want to continue doing these free to join make-alongs. I don't know if they're always going to be mental health temperature projects. That may or may not get old. I don't know, because I've never done it. But I do have a series in mind. And I'm definitely, I think it's a series of 3 right now in my like sort of heart and soul. It's a series of 3. But maybe this next one will be it. It just all depends on what people want and what we as a community decide. So I'm going to be officially announcing it on September 30th. It was going to be on the 1st, but then something else was going on. So on September 30th, at least to our community, I'm going to be announcing the palettes, the yarn partners, and have the welcome packet ready, and the group, what is now the Moodring Make-Along group, is going to switch over to it's going to be called the self-care season scarf. And so the room is going to be changed into that for now. And then anytime we're not doing a make-along, it'll be renamed mental health make-alongs, because even if they're not temperature blankets, probably always going to be the focus in one way or another. And that's really loose. I mean, all of this, just knitting and crocheting, we've all shared, just at its core helps our mental health. So this particular one, I was originally going to be calling it nostalgia and navel gazing, and then I realized two things. I thought everybody knew what navel gazing is. Apparently, it's kind of an obscure thing. It means, you know, sort of like looking within, but what I did not realize is that it's negative. It means that you're only looking within and not looking outward. So those are two things. So that's not great. And then it was just a mouthful. So then I just thought about just calling it, it's going to be holiday related. So it's for the holiday season. And for us, it'll be the self-care season as well. What that means is that over a 3-month period, so it'll actually start as in like cast on, chain on, whatever, on October 30th, which is technically, depending on what calendar you look at, the pagan holiday Samhain. Some people call it Samhain, some people call it Samhain, depends on who you ask. But then the next day is obviously Halloween, and it'll go through all of the, you know, Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas and Yule and New Year's, and then give a little bit of time post New Year's. All of these holidays, this whole season, this next 3 months, starting in October, can generate so many emotions, positive and tough. And after a conversation with my friend Christine, I really started to realize how impactful that could be. For her, it meant talking about grief. She lost her partner 10 years ago. But for some folks, it might be social anxiety. It might be from all of the events that you have to go to. It might be nostalgia for just a holiday, something that you see that every year it reminds you of being a kid at Halloween or at Hanukkah or whatever. It might be making new memories with your family now. So joy in that way. Redefining, we'll be still using I'm not telling this in order because I don't tell things in order, but we'll still be using the same feeling wheel. But what I've done is I've sort of added some terms to them that kind of fit in that same category. So joy would have also nostalgia and memory making and traditions. And maybe for anger, I mean, mad, I've added family strife, which can happen a lot at holidays. And this one's going to be a doozy this Thanksgiving. It's going to be a doozy. And then social anxiety, I've added to scared and, you know, that type of thing. Rather specific emotions that tend to come up during this period of time. So you can do whatever you want, but that is my intention, is that this is a way to sort of process all of that, either just to like de-stress at night, or also so that you can step back and say like, oh, this thing that happens with this family member, like look at all of this red, you know, if that happens to be your, you know, anger color. And maybe give you pause to think about, because I think I also have in it somewhere like the empowerment, feeling powerful could be if you made the choice to not put yourself in that position because you felt like it was an obligation. So we're really going to zoom out and think about that. But it's a smaller project because I know, and I heard some feedback too, everybody is busy during the holidays and we're makers. So we're probably also making gifts. So I didn't want this to be something that people simply tapped out of because they didn't think they had the time, or got frustrated with because they couldn't figure out, like, you know, when to fit it in, which I guess is the same thing. I was redundant what I just said. So this will be a scarf. There'll be a couple different options, a super scarf version and a traditional scarf version, with both weekly and daily options. And you know, when I say daily, I mean, you know, ish. I've built in almost 2 weeks of skip days, and then you can always bank them or not do it at all. So you will be making either a granny square or a mitered square every day, instead of stripes. And depending on which one you do, if you do the daily, they're only 4 inches. I don't have one right here, but it, not that big. So granny squares fast. Same for miter squares. So you would just do one of those a day. If you're doing the weekly, it'll be about a 7.5 inch granny square, and it'll be made up of 7 rounds plus a border, so that you can do a round per day for that week. And that will be for the non-super scarf version. And so I'm hoping that, and that'll be over sort of like a 10-week period. So there'll be 10 blocks of those. The rest of us will be working over sort of 12 weeks, but with a lot of wiggle room in between. So, and also mitered square, same thing, larger, that many stripes, working it out that way. And there'll be, I have a couple of yarn partners, which I'll share when I'm ready to do that, because they're thankfully are going to sponsor a little bit. There'll be a little affiliate stuff. I want to keep these free for everyone, but I also need to make a living. So I'm working behind the scenes to make that happen, because I would really like to keep this part of it not cost prohibitive. So to that point, this time, I loved our luxury yarn, love it. And I am going to be designing a lot more things in Pearl Soho yarn. So glad that we did it for the Moodring make along. I thought it was perfect for this next one, especially during the holidays. Financial stress, that's another one that's going to be on our chart. I wanted to give options. So we will have what I'm calling the MIDI, or the mini MIDI maxi budget options, 3 different yarn lines that are at, different spectrums of the financial line. And I've put together palettes in each of those 3 separate lines just as inspiration. You can always do whatever you'd like, so that it's my hope that it's accessible for everyone, both time-wise and financially. So I'm going to be announcing that, the palettes, the all the links, and have the welcome packets ready to go for anybody that is within this make along space, as well as Stitchwell Social Club on the 30th. And then it'll go out publicly. I'll start posting on social and everything probably October 2nd or 3rd, depending on some other things going on. So that's that. And then in the meantime, if you are looking for ways to support your local independent mental health make-along host, I wanted to tell you about a few things. First of all, one way you can support me is by becoming a paid member of Stitchwell Social Club. It's only $12 a month, no obligations, cancel anytime. And what we're going to be doing through the end of the year at least, and if it's my intention to keep going, but I always listen to the community, and if something's not working, we will pivot. Continue to have me doing live tutorials and hosting meetups, but every month we are also going to have a workshop by an outside expert. So for $12 a month, you're getting 55 of my patterns, a ton of my workshops and videos, but also a class, like a full hour to 2 hour long class from an outside expert. And so for October, that is going to be a workshop on color theory. This is something I've actually never taken a color theory class or never learned about color theory. It's all gut for me. So this is going to be great. And I've had some requests from people, but it's October. So I wanted to, how I love a theme. So I actually reached out to a woman in the UK, Jen Dollface, who goes by Stitch and Witch. And she is going to teach the craft of color theory class, which will be part practical and part witchy, because she's going to be bringing a little bit of candle magic into it. So that's going to be really fun. So that happens October. That's the October workshop. And then in November, we're going to be having Kate Atherley, who has a new book, Math for Knitters. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I think it is, coming out. And she's coming in to teach us a workshop on math for knitters. I don't know about you, but I need that a lot. That's going to be wonderful. And then for December, we have crochet designer Twinkie Chan coming in to teach a holiday-related little mini amigurumi, crochet amigurumi that we can make within that sort of 2-hour space. So we've got that, plus there is our ADHD group, plus there's our meetups, plus there is a ton of inspiration, and most importantly, a community always there to listen, to talk, to share patterns, that kind of thing. So if you will consider it, Kristen has put the link to, you can go to your account and just click on the account and you can upgrade that way, but you can also just go to the link that Kristen just posted, and we'll post it if you're watching it in the recording as well to, it's the Sweller membership is what you're looking for. So that's one. The second way is just affiliates. Shop Pearl Soho, that the affiliates link is also in the comment section. I get a percentage of sales if you use any of those links. So that's super helpful for me. And the same goes for Knit Collage. I also have one for Knit Collage. And I'm going to be doing some more work with Knit Collage coming up really soon. So that's going to be fun. So just simply shopping at any of those places. And then there's one more. I also have a link for Jimmy Bean's Wool. So if you're buying anything that they sell, if you use the link that has been posted, that helps me a lot too. So that is that. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Make Along, this was just an experiment. It was something that was just on my mind and I wanted to try. And I really appreciate that you trusted me enough to not only invest in the yarn that you bought, but also so many of you were candid and raw and open and giving with each other. And that to me is what humanity is all about, is just being open and being able to receive and also give. So thank you for being here with me. And I hope that you will all stay apart and do the next make along. But those of you that are a part of the Moodring make along, you can continue to post. I may move, please download all the patterns though. I am going to archive those, maybe move them over to my website just for focus, but you can continue to post your works in progress. Please do. I would love to see them as they move along. Before we wrap up, does anybody have any questions, comments, any thing that was unclear or last minute things that you would that have to do with Moodring make along that maybe you just wanted to have answered or just got off your chest? I'll give you a minute. Nope. Sounds like we're good. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, a great Friday night, and I will be seeing you on the boards. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.